today's video, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to learn how we can use the IFERROR function to clean up your data in Excel and also remove all the error messages that can ruin and destroy your data in Microsoft Excel. We are going to use a sample of data provided in the worksheet below. This contains the names of employees, the products they sold, and the sales, and also the number of days worked. We are supposed to calculate the efficiency of the sales against the number of days worked. So, in the process of calculating the efficiency, in case we get errors, we are going to see how we can use the if error function to eliminate such errors. So, I will go and select one of the cells in the efficiency column, and then from there, of course, the first cell, I'll go and put equal sign to tell Excel that I want to do a calculation. After typing equal sign, then I will go ahead and divide the cells against the number of days worked. I'm going to divide the cells by the number of days worked. So I'm going to pick the first value in the column of cell, which is 56, and it is being represented by the cell reference, which is E8. So I will type E8, and then I say divided by uh, the number of days worked in the column F, which is F8. And then from there, when you look at this formula, it has three main parts. The first one is the equal sign, which tells Excel that you are doing a calculation. The second one is the cell reference, which is the address or the identifier of the lateral value that we are dividing. And then we have the operator for division. Then after putting that function, what you do, go ahead and press enter on your keyboard, or you can go ahead and use this enter on against the formula bar. So when you press enter, you realize that all the rest of the columns, all the rest of the rows, will have to calculate automatic because my data is in a table. Now, from here, when you are to analyze and see the outcome of the efficiency in all these cells, you realize that I have some cell which contain errors. Like when you look at this, I have this type of error. This is a type of error which happens when you divide a value by a zero. Whenever you divide any number by zero or any value by zero, you get this type of error which is called the hash div stroke zero exclamation mark. So now, how do I remove this type of error in my data? Or what if maybe, do you think, is it necessary to remove it? Does it affect your data? Does it affect your outcome? What if I want to get the average of all the efficiency or the total efficiency? Maybe let me go ahead and first find the total efficiency. I'll go ahead and use the sum function. Then I will open the bracket. I get the first value, which is the 8. And then from there, I'll scroll down and get all the other values because I'm using the range. So I go ahead and close the bracket. When I press enter, I will still get this type of error because some of the cells already contain an error. That's why we said from the beginning that we use we use the if error function to see how we can remove these error messages. See, like this one, it is destroying all our data. All our information is being messed up. So now, even if you try to get the average, try to get the average, and you see average. First value, which is 8, 2, the last value. Go and scroll, highlight all the values to G22, and then from there, now you see I will still get the same type of error. So now to remove this error, of course, now I am going to use the if error function. This is where now the function comes into help. So how am I going to apply this? I'll go and select the first cell where I put the first formula. Then from there, I'll go and look into the formula bar. or you can double click and then you still get this after that. But I would encourage that you use the formula bar. Then from there, when you go to the formula bar, after equal sign, I want you to type if error function. Then from there, open the bracket. Now, when you use if error function, it has two parameters. The first parameter is the value, then the second parameter is the value if the error occurs. So now in this case, what is going to be the value is the formula which is going to divide the cells and the number of days worked. So from there, we shall go direct because the value is already available. So we shall put a comma and then we put the value if in case of an error, like in this cells where I have an error. So which value should be returned? So I can put a 0 because a 0 will not affect the outcome, or it will, even when I try to get the total value or the average at the end of the day, if I have a 0, that cell will be treated as a cell which contains a 0 value. So when I put a 0 and then I close the bracket, now when I press enter, now you see that my cells has the cell which had errors have been updated to 0. All the cells which contain a 0, these are the cells which were having errors. Even when you go now down where I had an error when I was calculating the total values, like when check in under the total values in the sum and also the values, I mean the average, you see now I can easily now get the average because uh, these cells have been treated like they contain 0 value. So that's how we can use the error function to clean up our data. You can highlight this and after that go to the numbers. The numbers is one of the group in the home tab, and then select a decimal, decrease decimal. We want to put all these numbers to at least two decimal values. So you can click on that until you reach two decimal values for you to easily understand the values. So these are now the efficiency or the efficiency of the cells against the number of days worked. And we've seen in the process of calculating the efficiency, you've seen how we've got errors, and this type of errors, we've seen how we've used the if error function to eliminate them. And right now our data is green, everything is fine. We can use it to make any decision, and in the future, whatever thing you're doing, if you're in a business, if you're in whatever industry, you can use this type of function to clean up your data. For now, we're going to stop here. Let's catch up in the next video as we look at more